Yesterday, we covered the initial reactions to the clip of Hasan allegedly using a shock collar on his dog Kaya. And shortly after, Hasan went live and decided to show the collar that everyone is talking about. And for some, this concluded the drama. Hasan clarified it was a vibrate-only collar, and this put it to bed. But the internet doesn't rest so easy. And a huge debate sparked online about the make and model of the collar that Hasan showed, with many showing that the prongs which separate a shock collar from a vibrate-only collar are actually removable. And it appears that Hasan may have taped over the evidence of them being taken off. However, some pointed out that even after removing the prongs, there are built-in screws that cannot be removed. So it being flush means this could possibly be the vibrate-only version. But then some suggest that Hasan may have removed those by force and then taped over the evidence because we can't see a white box with a serial number that is in every make and model, even the vibrate-only versions. It's gotten so big that Critical made a video going over it, and Hasan's subreddit is also not too happy about the coverage. But there's a ton to get into. I'm going to show you the evidence and you can come to your own conclusion. With that being said, welcome to the internet versus Collargate. It starts with a couple more reactions that we missed in the first part of the series to the original clip, like Mudahar, who quote tweets Eid, posting the original clip with a caption, "I don't get what the dog did wrong. Why can't it just roam around since he doesn't live alone? I don't know if it's confirmed to be a shock collar, but those shouldn't ever be used no matter what. Poor thing looks stressed." And Tron Swanson replies, "You can't see that it's clearly a shock collar, Mr. Fence Writing Engineer Man." And Mudahar replies, "Damn bro, could have been a collar that vibrates. Just not saying something without confirming it is fence writing, I guess." Amaranth also reacted to the original clip by quoting Yeet and saying, "This is terrible," along with Kirsch quoting this tweet and saying, "Why is he treating the dog like a stream prop and getting mad about her wanting to roam around the house? Why does he have a shock collar?" And Fat Catfish replies, "Communists have a rich history of animal abuse. The Soviets nearly exterminated the borzoi and used German shepherds as living landmines." And Kirsch replies with this meme in the caption, "I loved this meme, man. Borzoi are so good and I'm glad they exist." Bent also quoted Yeet's post by saying, "She clips her paw. It's very obvious. You are willfully dumber than a dog if you choose to believe this, and care more about imagining the suffering of a single animal than millions of Palestinians." I don't know, like did he just impulsively decide to do this live on stream but then also have a rehearsed immediate head turn to suggest he was surprised by her yelp as a cover? And Kazu replies, "No, he turned his head to relish in the pain he just inflicted on her. You don't get it, dude." And Bent says, "The sick, twisted way he relishes her pain by giving an exasperated and confused 'What are you doing?'" And Dave in Confused replies, "To full retards like you, lol." Nuxtaku replies to Bent with this gif of speed glazing. And Bent replies, "Remember how women used to talk to you?" And Derek says, "You do know he's married, yeah?" And Bent says, "Not for long with the way he acts." Asmongold replies to Bent's original post by saying, "You guys really need to stop invoking Palestine every time someone you like gets criticized. It doesn't help you, and it certainly doesn't help Palestinians. It has nothing to do with this topic, and you're effectively using their suffering as a shield for bad behavior." Gato Fumodoro quote tweets Asmongold by saying, "You literally justified the mass extermination of Palestinians, you repulsive cockroach," attaching this clip which we covered before on this channel, where Asmongold talks about how Palestinians have genocide baked into their culture, so he doesn't care about them getting genocided because they would do the same. Frost replies, "He also apologized for it and actually understood why it was wrong to do that." And Gato replies, "How the fuck do you accidentally justify a genocide at the age of 40? Has he demonstrated any effort to educate himself since then, such that he doesn't repeat a mistake like that again?" Magpie replies to Asmon's post by saying, "Am I the only one who legit cares more about a dog being abused than this dumb war?" Tectone also screenshots this interaction and captions it by saying, "Hasan's audience is unironically saying, 'Who cares about the dog when there's a genocide happening?' Holy fuck, these people are retarded." And Kirsch replies, "Bent is the retard that kicked off my harassment campaign in March and became buddy-buddy with the Vice journalist who exacerbated it. Him defending Hasan for animal abuse doesn't surprise me in the least." Drama Alert also tweeted out the clip with the caption, "Hasan is accused of using a shock collar to stop his dog from walking out of frame during rant about America," and Keemstar quoted it by saying, "Disgusting." XQC tweets out, "Alinity gets banned for chucking her cat. Hasan," attaching this image. And Ian replies, "Do you have actual evidence and not just circumstantial evidence? If so, maybe post it instead of making unsubstantiated claims and memes about something serious. I always see you talking about not saying anything because there might be stuff you don't know, yet you're doing it currently." And XQC replies, "Since you asked, I synced the movement of his arm with the dog reaction. I tried to find the last frame where he moves his forearm. You can see his shirt move a little bit more as he adjusts his wrist. He obviously touches something and 3 frames later, the dog yelps. Behavioral. Hasan doesn't seem worried for a second when the dog yelps. Instead, he seems annoyed. He usually is annoyed with the dog moving around, so that's common. But annoyed that the dog yelps? No shot. Collar. Even after a few minutes of research, I couldn't find the exact model. Unfortunately, there's too many, but the components and placement of each component is conclusive with exclusively that type of collar. I'd be willing to be wrong about this if debunked. Historical. Hasan has previously stopped himself from finishing a sentence on stream when talking about what type of collar his dog was wearing. Not many types have that layout. He also stated himself that he was aware of their existence / entertained using it / using it. Two of these are pretty convincing by themselves, but altogether, it's almost certain it was a shock. A theory that compromises of all the elements stated above while remaining plausible would be pretty hard to pull off, but I'd be glad to listen if you have one. Case closed. And Blackleg AJ replies, it's a martingale collar, with an AirTag and a GPS tracker in case the dog escapes while on a walk. You know nothing about this, you cokehead. And XQC replies, martingale? The Double Down Roulette Casino strategy author? Okay Dude replies to XQC by saying, you might consider that the dog yelping is not from a shock collar, but maybe because it twisted its paw really weirdly. I guess even after having millions, you still have to pile on dog shit for miserable Twitter views. Attaching this image, circling Kaya's paw and the bed. And XQC replies, gotta love non-pet owners commenting. My cat's claw got stuck in a blanket and it yelped, sent me in a full panic and nearly cried. Mostly because I didn't know what was wrong with her. Hasan seemed to know exactly what was wrong the minute it yelped. Conclusion, he probably knew. Alverson posts this clip on the livestream fail subreddit with the caption, Kaya's positioning throughout the entirety of her appearance on Hasan's stream yesterday.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the Hasan Abi broadcast. Is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
And Daniel Sixon replies, Hasan to his dog if she interrupts his stream for 0.5 seconds. And Blueberries replies, it not even interrupts. It didn't go up to him. It didn't knock things over. All she did was try to step off the bed. Paradox Preacher says, open air prison. While Hasan cosplays in tactical gear. And Spanish Knight replies, I've never personally seen a scenario where this phrase fits 100%. I feel so bad for the dog. And Big Hat Logan replies, my dog would go literally insane if I made him do this. Dogs can't be confined and still like this outside of napping. That dog is also like less than 4 years old. If I didn't have dog door and large yard, my dogs would go crazy. I don't think he understands dogs. Yeet also posts the same clip with the caption, an LSF post of Kaya's seating position throughout the entirety of her time on Hasan's stream yesterday is going viral right now. And Drumstick replies, does no one in these threads have a dog IRL? Dogs across the world spend a similar amount of time or more in a crate because their owners aren't Twitch streamers. Kiro Won't Miss quote tweets his post by saying, do you know how sick you gotta be to use your dog as background decoration for your streams? Evan Loves Worf quote tweets the post by saying, wow, no fucking way, a dog stayed in its bed for 4 hours. And Jesse says, it got up once in 2 hours and he shocked it, bro. Like, you don't gotta defend this. And Evan replies, it's not true. And Jesse says, so you're telling me if I watch this stream back, that dog will get up before that clock hits 2:19 from the start of this clip? And Evan replies, you said he shocked her. He didn't. Evan also tweets out, Hasan has had the dog on stream for 8 hours a day for 2 years straight and suddenly only now decides to shock the dog for literally no reason. Airtight case you got there. And Wayne replies, you can say this about literally everything, by the way. He was married to her for 20 years, yet now he decided to kill her? Super bad logic. And Drew Pavlo replies, Lamafau, the commies are actually sincerely trying to defend Hasan Piker shocking his dog. I Love Soda also posts in the livestream fail subreddit this clip with the caption, streamer explains why his pet is not allowed to roam around the house.
You let her roam around the house? I'm not a hate watcher, just curious. Okay, so let me address a couple things really quickly. First and foremost, not only have I addressed this, but I've also shown in videos like Kaya's day-to-day experiences and stuff like that. Obviously, she gets out. She has an incredibly active morning. And not only that, but she also has an incredibly active afternoon. She gets 2 hours of playtime every morning. at either the gym or at the park that I go to. And then as a big dog, as big dogs oftentimes do, she passes the fuck out for extended periods of time throughout the day. As far as not letting her roam in the room itself, there's a very specific purpose for that. That is because, and this is something that I've described over and over again, the reason why she's not allowed to roam inside of this room, with the exception of like stretching or getting up, getting down, drinking water, things like that, is because she likes to lay on the ground. When she lays on the ground, that's terrible for her fucking joints. Every single thing that I do with this dog is either with a professional dog trainer or with a vet. Okay? Professional dog trainer or a vet. A lot of people don't understand how serious this is to take care of your dog, how important it is to make sure that you have like proper activity, proper socializing, and to make sure that your dog gets out, make sure that your dog is actually active, and more importantly, make sure that your dog has a regimented and very structured life.
And Killer for Snake replies to this meme saying, breathes too loud. Thundaga. Some ordinary guy says, the live stream comments are such cope, it's actually hilarious. And deleted user says, it's because the rest of us got permabanned yesterday for politely asking questions. And Talk Usual replies, best thing that could happen to you is being banned from his streams. And Sticky Paw says, they also seem to have deleted their Reddit account, so already making progress. Magic Dragon replies, she can't walk around the room because she might lay on the floor, which in turn might hurt her joints. And Weird Aberchroma says, sitting still for hours at a time well, like she does in every video and now proven to be forced, so yes. And Akira Katara says, he specifically says it's that one room in the video. If that's the case, why not just keep her out of that room? Let her hang out in the rest of the house when you are in there. Just lost the best doggo ever yesterday. Best friend to my oldest from the time he was born. I couldn't imagine ever treating any animal like this. Left Inspection also posted this clip on the livestream fail subreddit with a caption, old clip of Hasan Piker telling a dog to stay or I'm gonna effing kill you and pulling it by the tail resurfaces.
Motherfucker, come here. Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Stay.
Opie then follows up their thread by saying, pulling by the tail can cause damage. A dog's tail is an extension of the spine. It is made up of vertebrae, muscles, and nerves according to VCA hospitals. Avulsion injuries are caused when the tail is pulled. Doing so strenuously stretches or tears nerves. In addition, breaks near the base of the tail may sever nerves. Pulling a dog's tail can damage nerves higher in the spine that control urination and defecation. These damaged nerves cause your dog to lose control over their bowels. While the nerve damage can heal, there are instances where damaged nerves leave dogs permanently incontinent. And then a link, and then the post continues. Pulling a dog's tail can cause painful injury, including nerve damage, avulsion injuries where nerves are stretched or torn, and even permanent incontinence due to the tail being connected to the spine. The tail is crucial for communication and balance, and pulling it can lead to behaviors like biting and self-defense. Children should be taught not to do this, as it is both harmful to the dog and can cause serious medical issues. W142236 says, who pulls a dog by their tail? What the fuck is wrong with him? And It's a Vibe replies, someone that treats dogs like toys. And the Rock Licker says, I heard that Hasan's dog needed a 4K treatment to save its life after he's been rich, and he denied to do it and instead put the dog down. This was from a streamer that knew someone close to Hasan. Honestly, I can make a YouTube video with all the evidence to make this a point, and I might just do that. Desidosa says, a dog's tail is an extension of their spine, and you quickly learn to not mess with them when owning one. Hasan is a complete asshole for treating his dogs like this. And Starry Sky says, I was taught as a child that you don't ever pull a dog's tail. And Far Distribution replies, my dogs have gotten swimmer's tail before from having too much fun out at the lake. Legit have to keep them on land for a day so they can recover from partying too hard in the water. Just kidding, I zap my dogs if they ever try to leave their prison cot for more than 2 seconds. Also eat the rich. Sent from my Porsche. Dan Can't tweets out, yesterday during his stream, Hasan had the chance to very easily bring over the dog and show that there was no shock collar on it. That's all it would take to end the drama, and any normal person would immediately do that to stop the drama. Anything he shows now is fabricated. Hasan is going to be late for his stream today because he is desperately going to every Petco in LA looking for any device that looks similar to what was in the photos so he can prove his innocence. XQC chat messages post, I'll donate 50k to an LA animal shelter if he shows the camera his dog collar we saw on camera yesterday. And Asmongold reacts to this when he tweets out this clip with the caption, Asmongold explains why XQC's 50k donation proposal could turn into problems.
Yeah, wow. And XQC offers to donate 50K to an LA animal shelter if Hasan shows the camera the dog collar seen yesterday. There's no, because if he shows it and it's not a shock collar, people will say that he just got another collar that looks the exact same. Like, I'm just trying to be honest about this, okay? And I'm not really seeing it happen.
And then he tweets this out with a caption, XQC confirms 50K donation to animal shelters. Says he was going to do it anyway, even if Hasan's lying.
So,
by the way, I was waiting for my agent to come back to me. I found apparently very reputable no-kill shelters, and I'm donating to those. I'll already give you guys the name of that one. It's give me 3 options. I'll deal with it later. I'll donate anyway. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if he didn't show it. If he wants to lie, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I said I would do something. I'll do it anyway, just because. But
so weird that
it is what it is.
Then Yi tweets out this clip with the caption, Hasan says the collar is a vibration collar.
I have multiple collars. I'm going to address the collar thing in a second as well. But I have multiple collars for Kaya, and I put an air tag on them. I put an air tag on all of her collars to make sure that, I know where she's at. And one of the collars that people are pointing to in the from previous days or from like months ago is the collar that is a vibration collar. A collar that I use specifically to communicate with Kaya when she's free roaming at the park or when she is, off leash running around. Okay? Because when you leave your dog to free roam, to go out on the trail or whatever, there are going to be instances where you can yell for her to come back to do recall, but because she's so far away that she can't hear you. Okay? That's where the vibration collar comes in. It vibrates. It doesn't actually have any sort of like shocking component. Okay? And there are multiple different versions of this. There are the no bark collars that I believe both vibrate and also emit like a large sound, like a loud sound. There are shock collars as well. They all look very similar to one another. Okay? But the vibration collar is what they were pointing to. Okay? To be like, oh my God, he has a collar that he's using to abuse her and shocking her. There are a lot of dogs who use this. Okay, there are also a lot of dogs, working dogs, that use a shock collar as well.
And Howling Newton replies, my dog always screams when I use my vibration collar. And finally, we got a reveal of the collar when Haspaz tweets it out with a caption, there you go, you freaks.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. Good. There's the air tag. There's the fucking vibrator. It also has a flashlight component to it at nighttime. And it also has a tracker on it when she gets lost. If she were to actually get fucking lost, you are able to, it emits a sound. Okay?
And Dazwak replies to Haspaz by saying, who cares if it was a shock collar? They aren't illegal. Clovis says, why are people freaking out on a shock collar for a dog? Should he have zapped it for walking around? No. Does it hurt the dog? It's a tool to correct behavior. I use one on my dog when I take him out to the farm so it doesn't run off property and on the road. And Luna says, if I recall correctly, they are illegal in Cali and are considered as inhumane there. And Clovis says, it's a tool, no more than an electric fence to keep cattle in. The Hallowed Prince says, what behavior was being corrected? Walking off screen. The Serfs quotes the clip by saying, I think people really need to start unpacking how parasocial relationships can work in both directions. There was an entire 24-hour cycle where people were openly calling him a dog torturer, and the evidence was that there's probably a secret electrocution button off screen. Turtlebox says, we have these exact ones for our dogs. I pointed this out earlier to someone showing me this. They're like $240 on Amazon and they're pretty great. You can even have your vet have access to stuff like their steps taken per day and location, stuff like that. Bint says, him literally taking off the collar and showing that it's clearly not a shock collar won't be enough for these people. They already decided the outcome they want, and that's as good as the truth. Denim's quote tweets this clip by saying, Hasan should wear the collar, not to disprove the shock collar argument, not to show how it works, but for a secret third reason. Wait, stop liking this post. And Ember Paradox replies, oh please, stop pretending that you aren't wishing that it was you wearing the collar with Hasan's finger on the button. I mean, I get it. You're so grateful for his incredible generosity of easily funding your legal team for the upcoming case against Ethan. Oh. Wait. Lana B replies to Denims by saying, fucking calm down. And Denim says, I need it for my old man Yowie. I'll explain later. My Dude Reno's also posted on the livestream fail subreddit the collar clip with the caption, LA-based streamer shows off his K9 companion's necklace. And Do Willingness replies to this drawing saying, fuck these authoritarian fascist dictators. And then shocking Kaya and saying, silence. Lonely Friend 2 replies to the clip by saying, bro's handling it like a magician handles a deck of cards. Jaded Engineer replies to this picture saying, this is not an ET300 shock collar, that is speculation. Praise the glorious socialist leader. And Subject D replies with this gif and the caption, Hasan Simulator. Dexterdo also tweets out that Hasan showed the collar he uses on his dog Kaya, claiming it's a vibration-only collar. He denied using a shock collar and suspects that her dew claw got stuck on her bed. And Mike from PA quote tweets this by saying, if you fell for this misinformation campaign, you should seriously reconsider how you get and process information and who you get it from. And Karen replies with this picture in the caption, yeah, I don't get how any of this helps his case. The evidence is literally in the same frame. Hindfalls replies to Mike by saying, thank you for weighing in on this. And Mike says, Lonerbox is my favorite failed content creator. Zionist footstool. Dan Saltman then also tweets out this clip with the caption, looks like Lonerbox cracked the case. The non-shocking model does not match. Case closed. Hashtag free Kaya.
Closely match the ET300 Mini Educator half-mile remote e-collar, which does have shock prongs. It seems to match in shape, in the positioning of the charging port, in the texture of the plastic, unlike this one with the much more curvy light than the one Hasan has. This one, which is vibrate only, also has its charging point on the side. The one Hasan has the charging point in the middle, much like the shocking version, where the prongs that could deliver the shock are simply removable. You can just remove them. Or apparently, maybe, plausibly, ostensibly, cover them with black tape. That seems to be where we are now. Okay.
And Slight Ad also posted this clip on the livestream fail subreddit with the caption, looks like Lonerbox cracked the case. And Bolt Thrower replies, why would he put electrical tape over it? Only reason I can think of is he is trying to hide the fact he removed the prongs. And Trapster replies, if it was a vibrating collar, why not mention that even once yesterday? Why not show it to us yesterday? Why lie about her nail getting caught? He must really think his audience is dumb and that he can just say anything and they will believe him. All the evidence and circumstantial evidence is extremely damning. And Avid Miller says he must really think his audience is dumb and that he can just say anything and they will believe him. Well, and Environmental Dot replies, his audience will excuse everything he does. And Complex Evan says, just like his haters will jump on it and assume the worst regardless of the facts or truth. I don't like Hasan, but online, 90% of people here I don't hate him either. I try to look at it fairly. Aggravating Bed replies with this zoomed in picture in the caption, guys, I promise it's just a vibration collar. The electrical tape attempting to cover the prong holes, it's for all that neck meat. Then he attaches this link saying even more evidence. Dude really thought he could gaslight regards souped up on Tylenol with some shitty MacGyver job. And that link attaches to this image zoomed in on Hasan holding it, comparing two different models of this collar that Hasan showed. There is a shock collar version and a vibration collar version. And this image compares the piece in the middle, showing the vibration collar appears to be missing a piece, that the bottom is fully flat, and that there's a round screen, and that the shock collar looks to have a square screen, and that you can see that little stub poking out in the red circle, and the purple circle appears to have a second layer as well. Particular Salad says, damn, 12 hours off stream and this was the best Hasan could come up with. And Zaypai says, they never made a bro tips on how to get out of this one, so he had to wing it. And the Devil's Advocate says, one day Amazon shipping failed him. And Coolbad replies, bro is Amazon's favorite streamer and they didn't bail him out with Prime Air from War of the Worlds, lol. Tectone tweets out this with a caption, hey, Hasan, I found your collar. Looks like the electrical prongs are removable on your collar there. This is the reason you didn't show the collar yesterday. This issue has left your algorithm. him. We aren't your audience. We aren't stupid. You are a disgusting, lying, manipulative piece of shit. Attaching this image that says removable male contacts, easily removable for non-stim training without prongs, with male contact points, showing this, with plastic cover, showing this. Male contact points are removable to use without prongs to use a vibration-only collar. Tectone also follows up his post saying, video proof, you remove the prongs, then use black electrical tape to cover the holes where the prongs go. Hasan, your dog deserves better. And this is a clip, but it's silent. You can just see Hasan holding the collar up here, and he's referencing this off-color black that appears to be at the bottom here, which looks like electrical tape covering something, and it just loops like this for about 40 seconds. Yeet also tweets out this clip with the caption, XQC dives into his signature debunker persona with the Hasan Kaya situation, asks why there's allegedly tape covering the inside of the collar.
Now, let me back it up a little bit. You see right there? It seems to me that this roundish demarcation is the same one that's at the outside of the one that was shown. Not done yet.
Then it comes with a buckle bungee collar, okay? And here's the buckle bungee collar. This happens to be a quick.
You're going too fast, buddy. This guy, man. Let us look at it, man. Oh my god, debunked. Oh my god, debunked. So you're telling me there should be a white serial number that doesn't have a protruding, it's more on the inside. So it would be indented with some serial number or some sticker on the inside, right? But in the one shown on a song stream, which is the same one, it has nothing. Why? Why? Tape. Tape. And especially with the difference in level and the shade of black and the shadow, there's an overlaid on top, perhaps some form of adhesive device.
XQC.
This post saying XQC concludes in his debunker session that it's most likely a shock collar.
That would be the one. Guys, does that look like what we're looking at into this? Is this that? Okay, in this case, we have to know, guys, for his height, how long is his thumb? Because if you look at it, right, his nail is about the exact same distance between the marking and the writing, right? But now look at this though. Is it about the same? Seems plausible. Text color. Hard to tell. With wear and tear, with whatever, it is hard to tell. There's some light refraction here, but does it have the second knob? Hold on. It do though. It's white markings and guys, it's white text and it's not long text. It's the ET800. Bang. Hold on. This one is more plausible. Guys, in terms of, I know it's not red, dumbass. In terms of the white and blue, that's close. Yeah, but you can get it in black because look, that's more like that. Let me guess. The people that make these devices, they get those like fucking drop shipped or something like that in bulk, and they're plain, and they add their own branding on top of it. So there's even matter where it's from. The hardware is still the same thing. Debunked. Next.
Yeet also tweets out this clip with the caption, Philip DeFranco reached out to Hasan for comment. He denied all allegations.
As far as Hasan's response here, I actually reached out for a comment and reaction. Right, and so with that, he called this one of the most insane brigades he's ever seen. Then adding, I rewatched the video and I totally get why people are angry. I should have instantly gone over to check on her. I was in full panic mode over the internet going out and the stream crashing, and I take total accountability for that. With Hasan then also talking about the allegations around the collar, as well as the allegations that he shocked the dog. Regarding the collar, he said, I have a bunch of different collars for her, including a vibrating collar for communicating with her over long distance when she's at the park, etc. Saying she was professionally trained to be off leash. That collar can't actually shock her. Adding, I didn't press anything, I didn't have any remote or anything with me. And then regarding his dog yelping, he said, I don't know what happened, but I assume it was her clipping her do nail on the corner while following the place command, but I get why it looks horrible to a person who's seeing this interaction for the first time. And then regarding people saying, the dog's just there in the background, or maybe even the dog is forced to be there, he said, Kaya is an incredibly well-trained dog and super well taken care of. She gets 2 hours of activity in the morning at the park and then another hour-long walk in the afternoon with my mom. With Hasan then adding, her place command is there so she doesn't lay on the hard ground and hurt her joints as a big dog, but she is free to do whatever. And saying people have been sequencing minor infractions to make up their own insane narratives about this. And adding, anyone that knows me or has been around me can vouch for how I spend every waking moment with my dog and how much I love her and take care of her. But ultimately, that's where we are.
Yeet also tweets out this clip with the caption, Lacy reveals that his dog trainer, who also trains Kaya, asked him if he wanted to use an e-collar.
Yeah, chat, my dog does go to the same trainer as Hasan, but he asked me if I wanted to use an e-collar, and I said no. Like when he first trained Milo, like a few months ago, he asked if I wanted to use the e-collar, and I told him no. Don't? Yeah, no, I told him that. I think, what's it called? I think using an e-collar on dogs is just, like, bro, you could train a dog to do things without using a shock collar.
And AKA replies, why am I not surprised that the two biggest losers on the internet have the same dog trainer? Yeet also tweets out this clip with the caption, XQC reacts to a clip of Lacy being told Hasan's dog trainer uses everything when he trains dogs, including prong and shock collars.
What does he get trained to do?
So everything.
Prongs don't come off fully dried.
Shock collar.
He'll get training to like basically be off.
This is an apology to a chatter name.
Yo. He pointed and said, Kaya, he said that. He pointed and said, Kaya. And apparently that's his trainer?
Collar. Like you don't need to ever have a leash on him.
Really?
Do you know Kaya?
My dog?
Cooking with Kaya?
No, my dog.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude, we have the.
Oh, yeah, I met your dog. It's basketball man.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the best.
She's very well trained. Oh my god.
Bro, this dog's gotta get trained. And you're gonna miss it for.
Yeah, but then doesn't he think that's his owner?
No, it's not like that.
That's not a bad idea.
Dude, get his number.
It's like boosting in 2K. You like,
dude, yeah, man.
You like basically give your account to someone else to get all your badges.
Chat, I have to be honest with you. I don't want to be rude, or I don't want to be whatever people say. Always, narcissistic, whatever. I give it with all of what we covered, with all we looked at, and we looked at all the alternative ideas. If you're not convinced, I don't think anything will convince you. If you're just a glazer, and it's all good. I glaze a bunch of other stuff. You're just a hardcore glazer. You got meat all the way down.
And Frank Castle replies, it's just very clear the guy sees his dog as nothing more than a prop for his stream. A very weird behavior. Does that not bother his audience? No chance the dog enjoys sitting there all day listening to him yell at his webcam. Alaric says, for fuck's sake, shock collars and prong collars are not bad if used correctly. And I trust owners who use prong/shock collars on naturally aggressive dogs than those that don't out of humane reasons. And Alamode replies, the issue isn't necessarily their use. It's the fact that Hasan used one on his dog for just moving out of frame on his stream and then lied about it. And Alaric says, my point is that since it's debatable whether he used the shock collar or not, his reaction cannot be debated, and it's sickening. Then Moist Critical made a video on the situation, and he tweets out this clip with the caption, Moist Critical did a video on Collargate. Here he asks why Hasan couldn't just show the collar as the situation unfolded.
And instead of doing what I think most people, like not even just streamers, just normal people would do, of like showing, no, look, it's not a shock collar, obviously I didn't shock my dog, he instead just brushes it off saying, nope, it's not a shock collar, you're stupid for thinking that it is. And that's the attitude that his community had as well, like, oh, you must have psychosis if you think it's a shock collar. Which I think is a little odd because it's the easiest thing in the world to prove, right? You have all these people saying this shit, it's not true, Well, it takes like actually 3 seconds just to unclip that collar and just show like, hey guys, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea here. This is not a shock collar. Look, here's what it is, and then explain it. Like, I feel like even a non-streamer, like a complete normie, average Joe Schmo, if you went to their house and saw that happen, or like, hey, did you just shock that dog? They'd be like, oh my god, no, this is clearly a misunderstanding. No, that's not what happened. Like, I feel like most people would be very quick to show you and prove that it's not a shock collar because it's so quick and so easy to do. And the fact that he doesn't is odd. Like, it is very peculiar. Why wouldn't you in the moment? Like, that's such a natural thing to do, especially for what's easily a slam dunk. Like, you have all these people attacking you, you could easily just come out and fucking slam jam thank you ma'am on them by just being like, nope, it's not a shock collar, look, here you go. The proof is in the pudding, behold. Like, it'd be so quick, so simple, and it would be irrefutable. But that didn't happen yesterday. Instead, it was kind of brushed off as like, you've got to be fucking stupid to think that, Hasan would shock his dog on stream. And he just kind of propped it up as like, the only people that would believe this are like bad people in the first place, or like, grifters, this kind of thing. And I just find that to just be so disingenuous, because most people are going to see this and it looks like you shock your dog. Given how annoyed you are with the dog, and right before she yelps out in pain, you roll your eyes, you look at something off screen, you clearly are like, you are reaching off screen, that is very clear, and then the dog yelps while you were still annoyed, and then instead of doing like what I feel like most dog owners would do, would like check to see like, is everything alright? Why'd she just yelp in pain? Instead of doing that, calling her a baby and then mentioning how spoiled she is about roaming the house, like that doesn't compute. If this was her dew claw getting stuck there and then yelping in pain, you would have no idea why she's yelping. Why is your first instinct to call her a baby and then mention how spoiled she is about, your mom letting her roam the house? The response to it just doesn't really seem to make sense if what happened is her dew claw getting stuck there.
And Josh replies, most people would also be quick to check on their dog after they yelp like that. Vlone Predator says, as someone who works at a place where we shock dogs, I can tell you with certainty that the yelp was from the dog hitting its claw on the bed. With today's shock technology, any respectable collar is going to put the dog to sleep for a minute or two, not make it yelp. And Mr. Bad Aim replies with this image saying, fuck doing my own research to disprove misinformation. I'ma start believing people. Over on Hasan Piker, Windows Hunter posted this video that Charlie put with the caption, pretty disappointing video from Charlie. Really felt like someone with no understanding of Hasan or the situation giving baseless accusations. And Hasan B. Condensed replies, disappointing is an understatement. Bro just single-handedly ensured this will go on for days if not weeks longer, and all the normies will be saying Hasan abuses Kaya as well. The problem with taking a middle-of-the-road sort of neutral take when something is just wrong is that it will embolden all the people lying into thinking they're not crazy. They honestly believe that Hasan has any need to use a shock collar on Kaya, when we for years have seen her grow up and learn to follow commands with no big red button or remote on site. And Zoot Floyd says, this is exactly my feeling as well. Now instead of the normal life cycle of one of these things, it is going to go on for days. Mean Folk says, mentions this but not the serial harassment podcast, come on now. And the Common Koala replies, it's a running trend amongst these apolitical drama farmers. Ludwig also managed to cover Creator Clash being forced to shut down without highlighting the H3 harassment campaign. And Sam as replies, apoliticals are always the right wing. KVA says, I was expecting him to give a normal level-headed overview of the situation and he just reiterated the Xitter post accusations. And Celestial Sludge replies, why would you expect anything else from this dude? And DevCat says, yeah, Charlie has become in my opinion just another slop tuber. The most popular slop tuber to be sure, but still a slop tuber. I'm assuming his content is going to be surface level, biased, inaccurate, or just flat out wrong at this point, and I am pleasantly surprised the 1 in 8 times it isn't. Sion Hall says, Charlie felt that he accumulated a small amount of goodwill from the left because of his anti-Israel video, so he immediately had to follow it up with an anti-Hasan video to squash that misunderstanding. It must be exhausting balancing on top of that fence with his bony ass. And Daddy Mackie says, it is also a very dumb false equivalence. Actual genocide versus Hasan pet rumor. And Pew says, I think it's not just pet drama though. It's their strategy, discredit Hasan. Unfortunately for Zionists, the anti-Israel thing has breached beyond leftist communities, but I think they would really like him to stop spreading a dangerous ideology. He'd also tweets out this clip with a caption, Hasan reacts to Moist Critical dropping his video, says he could have messaged him or his friends first to find out the full story, ends up sending him a DM.
Even breathe in the direction of Moist if I were you, to be honest. I mean, he put his fucking flag on the, he put his stake on this, okay? He was like, oh, enough people shit on him. It's good enough. It's like obviously not a, it's obviously, no matter how fucking made up a narrative it is, if a clip looks bad enough, then he will go with it. And he will just use these guys, all they fucking do All these guys fucking do is basically farm Reddit for talking points, and Reddit can so easily be botted and manipulated. And I don't think we're ever going to get ahead of that. There's just nothing we can do. Bro, he said you're abusing Kyle. Like, no way, fuck him. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that he can suck my dick. Weird how quiet he was about literal pedophilia in certain communities. I mean, it took him 2 years to fucking come out and be like, yeah, the genocide is happening and it's really fucking bad, actually. So, Charlie's been on a good streak lately. He genuinely cares about dogs. He talks about how much he cares about dogs and pets all the time. So do I, dumb fuck. That's the reason why I'm fucking pissed off. That's the reason why I'm fucking annoyed. He could just like unironically reach out and be like, hey, what's going on here? Like, what was this about? This clip looks bad. You know what I mean? Hey, Hasan, I know we've been around one another before. We've actually been around one another, and a lot of the people that I know that I'm around all the time and do content with have not only been around you, but also been around Kaya. He could have just fucking hit up, not me, but any number of different people to be like, hey, do you think there's any veracity? Do you think there's any veracity to these claims? Not just like, don't ask me directly. Do your due diligence. Why the fuck do you go to Reddit for talking points, dumbass? What kind of fucking moron are you? It's fucking insane to me that like this is what goes for like doing commentary on the internet is just like, oh, these are the Reddit threads from some of the most like schizophrenic people you've ever actually encountered. This is all it takes for me. He said you hide the bad stuff from your friends? He said I hide. Okay, I'm going to DM him. Gross. Fucking moron. All right, whatever.
And Atuka replies, every time we make a video, do we have to go to Hasan to consult him on it when he, IMO, and I haven't heard him ever doing this, IMO as well, doesn't do it when he covers drama? Daka quote tweets each post about Moist Critical by saying, if he had nothing to hide, because if you look, he was immediately battling chat. He would have whipped the collar off immediately. He didn't. It was always a shock collar. Hutch quote tweets each post by saying, there is literally zero explanation that makes any sense for why he did not immediately do this. It is straight up the only play that makes any sense in that spot. Here's the collar, here's the branded model. My haters look so dumb shaking my head. Boom. Drama immediately over. And Glizmore Girl replies, if Hasan voiced every accusation a shithead made, he would have no time to actually stream anything else. He has since cleared this up. You guys are fucking gonna make me have a minty bee. Mate replies with this image in the caption, Hasan couldn't show immediately the shock collar because he needed to get rid of the removable prongs and put gaffer's tape over the holes. He clearly uses the shock collar model according to where the charger is. Attaching this post from XQC subreddits by Missy El Castillo, who says, it is confirmed he indeed used a shock collar. First comparing the two like we've seen, and then also attaching this image that says shocking version, vibration only, showing where the charging port is on the shocking version here being in the middle, and on the vibration only it's on the side. And then you can see Hasan holding the collar vertically here, showing the charging port on the middle side, versus on these vibration only would theoretically be here or here on the side. NOP continues their post saying, he added tape so you cannot see the entries for the male contacts, so you can remove them, and the white label with the saying model. The orientation of the charger matches the shocking version and not the vibration one. The position of the lights, including the whole body of the model, matches. The vibration model has a slightly less bulky body. This excuse was for his viewers to cope. Update, I figured out that this company only has one vibration only collar, and all the other ones aren't. The one that Hasan showed looks similar to all the shocking ones but the vibration one. Then he shows the other shocking collars and the single vibration only one. But not only that, but it also confirms that he covered the bottom part with tape. If you go and check every collar, all of them have the white label with the model's name at the bottom. His doesn't. In this video, minute 232, you can see that the vibration only version actually comes with a white label. And just to show you, this is from the video, and it's this guy showing off the vibration only model, and you can see the little white square down here at the bottom. But back to Reddit, the post continues, if you increase the brightness, the tape becomes even more obvious. And this is them screenshotting part of Hasan's response, increasing the brightness here, and you can see a different color black for this portion and this portion. Here is it zoomed in just a little bit more. The post continues, this is the link that also confirms that the company's sells different types of contact points, and you can change them if the default one doesn't work for you. So in fact, they can be removed. But do not focus too much on the collar stuff. His reaction to the dog getting hurt and how he uses her as a prop for hours could tell you that this dude may be an actual sociopath or a psychopath. Mistreating animals is a huge sign of mental issues. New update. Why the area where the male connectors are supposed to go on Hasan's collar looks flat and not bumped? That is the mystery right now. Attaching this image of someone removing the prongs, showing that actually when you remove them, there is still these little nails sticking out, these screws rather, and the caption how the collar is supposed to look with not tape. NOP continues, my theory is that he knew that collars with vibration only functionality were 100% flat at the bottom, and he managed to somehow reduce or remove the threaded bolts. After achieving this, he came with the idea of adding the black tape to make it seem 100% flat, like if it was a vibration only collar, plus hide whatever was done. He directly came with that excuse from the start. That would explain why he showed the collar a day after and not at the moment. Opening the device is not impossible, and then he attaches this link to a YouTube video where someone's just taking apart the collar. Still not sure how difficult it would be to modify the bottom part of the collar, and the company itself sells replacements that require you to open the collar, attaching a link to the website for replacement batteries and such. The problem? This company has one vibration only collar, and it doesn't match the one he showed at all, but matches the ones that can shock, and you cannot see the white label at the bottom of the model. That would confirm that it is vibration only. Why would you hide the one piece of information that would save your reputation with black tape? It makes no sense, unless that there is a bigger compromise. Mudahar also then tweets out, man, that shit was totally looking like a shock collar now. Fucking disgusting. And Andy Worski replies, it's brutal, bro. And Reed just replies, time for you to engineer a Mudahar approved collar. Midcard I best says, I trust you, man, but only because you have said you're an engineer. While Jeter says, as a collar engineer, you would know. And Gosu Prime replies to Muda by saying, mind you, Twitch is a platform that suspended a guy 2 weeks for calling a creator fat, but does nothing about animal abuse. Noah Sampson tweets out, this Hasan dog collar stuff is blowing my mind. I've never seen so many people so immediately and unanimously act this insane and conspiratorial about a stream clip. And Destiny quote tweets him by saying, it's funny to read stuff like this and agree with it for exactly the opposite reason intended by the author. Andrew Tate tweets out, imagine just learning now that Hasan Piker is a piece of shit. Been obvious for years. Harley Morenstein says, I've had dogs my whole life. Never did any of them ever yelp out in pain and not have me stop what I was doing and inspect what was wrong. We can debate the collar all day, but it is 100% low-key psycho shit to see your dog cry out in pain and you actively ignore it. Shoe One Head tweets out, wild how the most good faith interpretation of the Hasan thing is that he didn't really use a shock collar on his dog. He just got weirdly angry at his dog for briefly stepping off the little square he makes her sit on for 4+ hours while he live streams. Yeet tweets out this clip with the caption, Aiden Ross thinks Hasan should do a shock collar stream.
Chat, I want to see a stream dedicated to Hasan with a shock collar, tight, where you can't get one finger through. And I want to see Hasan get shocked all stream. That's what I want to see. And then I want to see him go to jail. Like, that would hit. I'm just being real.
Then Yeet also posted this with a caption, NMP Lol doesn't understand the Hasan hate and obsession, attaching a message from NMP Lol in his Discord where he says, the Hasan obsession is wild. If I don't like them, I just mute and block. Imagine hating someone and then consuming every bit of media they put out. Omega Lol. And Sensitive Society replies, don't know who that is, but it sounds like a retard. And Cringe NPC replies, every single person on Twitter is talking about Hasan. You can mute and block Hasan, but you cannot escape the dog shocking incident, literally even on Facebook. Yeet also tweets out this clip with the caption, Sneeko does a Hasan Kaya skit.
To talk about. Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Be my prop! Shut up! Good. Shut the fuck up! Be my prop! You're there to make me look empathetic to my libtards. You're not I don't care about your feelings. You're not an animal. Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna up it! I'm gonna up the dose! Fuck. Can't believe this guy. It's just... Does he not know his spot on my stream? I don't care about his life. God damn, man. Okay. What were we talking about?
George Alexopoulos tweets out this drawing saying, my master is very important. He tells a lot of people what's right and what's wrong. I admire him so much. I'd love to be closer to him. Maybe if I've been good, he can give me a pet. Zzzt. I'll stay here until he needs me. Stone Toss makes this comic saying, Hasan, for your animal cruelty, I sentence you to death by vibration device. Yeet also tweets out this Hasan Piker Instagram story where Hasan takes a picture of Kaya and captions it, she has no idea she's been the most famous dog on the internet for the past 2 days. days because of a coordinated far-right / pro-Israel slander campaign. And Tectone replies, being against animal abuse equals far-right. I think the only people more retarded than Hasan are his fans. Allegedly, Jackson says, coordinated? Excuse me for thinking dogs should be able to walk around the house without electrocution. Ethan Klein also reacts to this, and he posted on his page with the caption, Ethan Klein reacts to Hasan implying Collargate was the work of a far-right / pro-Israel slander campaign, and it's Ethan screenshotting it saying, bro, this one was all you. Can't blame Assad or Hasbara this time. And he also posted this clip with the caption, Hasan calls out the Beckys clamoring over Collargate.
King, I feel like this shit is racialized. They just assume you did that shit because you're brown. In my opinion, white people's racist perception of brown people towards their dogs, I think, I mean, there is definitely an Islamophobic tint that I've noticed where people are like, of course he does that. He's Muslim. Muslims don't care about their dogs. And it's like, listen, Becky, I fucking care about my dog a lot better than you do, dumb fuck. You let your little cockatoo fucking shit and piss everywhere and also jump on people and bite them. And then the ASPCA actually does have to kick in and take your little cockatoo away from you, okay? Or whatever, Maltese, poodle, whatever kind of fucking bird-like dog you have that you didn't even fucking train. And you're over here talking shit. Jesus Christ, dude. People that don't train their dogs, people that don't even have fucking dogs, that don't understand how any of this stuff works, literally making up their own minds and being like, oh, I would do it differently. Okay, well, I'm doing it in the best possible way that anyone could do it. And not only that, but you're also fucking inventing an alternative reality where I'm like fucking electrocuting my dog or some shit. Psychos. This is quite personal. It's like telling a parent is abusive towards his kids. No wonder you'd be pissed. I know.
Nandre tweets out, I don't know if there has been a more obvious smear campaign than trying to paint the most visible dog lover on stream as an animal abuser. Kaya is so loved. So many people, including myself, who are competent dog owners, have spent time at Hasan's with Kaya. She is not abused. And Destiny quotes Nandre by saying, the Hasan / Chanky community really are just a mere reflection of Trump and MAGA. The marching orders have gone out, and now every creepy / weird ML type are all engaging in identical maximum cope about the situation. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives Kiko, Salsal, Codas Bandito, and Captain Crash Out. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.